mic is too low again. Every single
Between your mic and my ear and my headset, we're having a grand old time today.
All right. Well, check the comments because they test. This is a test. I don't understand. Every week.
Testies 1, 2, 3.
Well, I hope not.
Well, 2 maybe.
All right.
Greg, okay, my point.
Might as
Okay,
well
so
do
it,
the show by unplugging, replugging my microphone. I don't know why every single
welcome to the Greg Cherry Show here on the Greg Cherry brand on NoDQ.com and the Jeff Meacham Network. I am the co-host with the mostos. Because I can't say I'm host because I'm not the host. Jeff Meacham, joining me on microphone, hopefully right now, is the Penson himself, Greg Cherry. And we're still mic testing. That's okay. Yes, Colin. How about them Browns? Holy crap! Cleveland has a winning season going. I'm verklempt and flabbergasted at the same time. What the hell's happening? The Netherlands. We're being watching the Netherlands. Holy crap, Greg! Look at this shit. That's amazing. Why am I being? Okay, I'm being asked if we can be joined by the birthday boy, who is, I think, still in Vegas. We will get back to you on that one, Mikey. If you can hear me. If you can't hear me, then I'll message you in a second. It's very funny that you can hear me and not Greg, because this is the thing that's actually working. This damn thing's not working. We don't know why right now.
Can anybody hear me now?
I can hear you better, but you're still a little low. You need to mute that.
All right.
You need to mute that fucking thing right now.
I'm gonna have to talk like this the entire episode.
I'll talk care of you. It's the Muppet Show! Ah!
I mean, if this is the way people can hear me, I'm just gonna look ridiculous for the entire hour.
Whatever it takes, brother. Oh, Jesus.
They still can't hear me. I need to figure out what's going on with this.
Now I can.
Oh, you can now?
It's great now.
Oh.
Whatever you did, do it again and leave it. No Medchangus.
Every week. It happened right before my political rant last week. It happened again.
But it was still a damn good rant nonetheless.
Yeah. So what I need to do is clip that particular part and upload it as a separate file, so that's all you get from that show.
Without question. Okay, I need to mute my freaking phone apparently too, because people can't stop texting me.
Yeah. It's okay.
You know who you are.
Like he said, he's Jeff Meacham, and I am, of course, Drew Slater, your host.
Drew Slater.
So
he's cousin without kids.
Yes. So we're going to get into what is on today's show. We are going to be talking about American football, deal with it. It's football season.
Woo!
And we're both football fans. Jeff, maybe not as much after this past week, but we'll get into that. What's trending now? We'll talk about what's trending now on Twitter and avoid all political topics as much as we can. Because I was going to do what's trending now last week after the debate, but literally every single trending topic was
the debate.
Every single one of them. So,
every friggin' one.
So not going to do that. I think they have another debate next week.
I believe the VPs are debating, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe the VPs are debating tonight. I think
Oh, okay.
The presidential one. The second one is next week, and the third one's the week after, or something like that.
I'm actually looking forward to this one more than I am next week's circus. This one actually should be pretty interesting.
I still think that they need to put the third-party candidate, Jo Jorgensen, on that stage. She'd probably smoke both of them.
You know, I'm saying, but you know what? Honestly, I'm very much looking forward to Kamala versus Mike rather than Larry Darrell and whoever the other Darrell is in the third party.
Let me put it this way: Jo Jorgensen, I feel like would smoke them both more than Van Dam 20 after 4. If you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean very well.
Yeah.
Not from personal experience, sadly, but you know, there's still time. He's still alive. Yeah, it's all good.
Yep. And of course, we're going to Weird Law Wednesday, as we always do.
Speaking of RVD,
Yeah. Speaking of,
boom, segue from hell. There you go, beautiful.
yeah, Battle Creek again. We'll see if there's some weird laws in Battle.
There has to be at least one. God.
I hope so. But there's probably a bunch of weird ones in that state, and we know a couple people from that state. So
We do indeed, and we also know that they have the single most obnoxious college football franchise in history. So yeah, there you go.
I mean, they're definitely up there.
Yeah.
I have nothing positive. Have they even started playing yet?
I have no idea. All I know is my dad, who was born in Ohio, as far as we're concerned, they are that team up north, and that's all we say about them ever. So
Yeah, I mean that's any Ohio State fan that's mad.
Very much so.
And of course, the Wednesday Q&A.
Always a pleasure for the Q&A.
Absolutely. So, Jeff,
That's me.
what the hell happened on Sunday?
I have no clue. I have never been more grateful to be working. Like, for real. I didn't watch a single game on Sunday. I was entrenched in work coverage for TakeOver, and I came off the air, and my dad was giving me the look like he'd been shot. His dog had been shot. I'm like, what the hell? And he showed me the scoreboard. I went, I'm going back to work. Fuck this. Out of here. I'm not dealing with this shit today.
What makes it worse, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think other than the first game, the Cowboys have put up at least 30 points every game.
That's the most mind-boggling thing. We're putting up 30 a week, and we still can't we can't hit the end game. It's so obnoxious.
And it's absurd to me. And maybe it's just the Cowboys defense is god awful. In fact, I think I got an application in the mail to apply for the Cowboys defense. And I might sign it. I'm not doing anything else right now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And they could use all the help they can get.
Yeah, Mike, you'll confirm that stat in the sports bar later today or whenever we do it, tomorrow, whenever we do it, by the way, because 30 a game and not winning is effing atrocious.
Hey, Jerry Jones, I know I'm a Steelers fan, but hey, you pay me money, I'll play defense for the Cowboys. I don't give a shit.
Hey, Jerry, how about you pay yourself to sign the team away to somebody else, please? Christ. I'm so sick of his shit.
Well,
anyway.
McCarthy is not exactly a revolutionizing thing.
No, this is true also.
Which we kind of knew that. Steelers, of course, didn't play because the Titans decided they all wanted to get COVID right before the game.
Oh my God!
It frustrates me that the fact that a couple more Titans got COVID, like this was confirmed today, and they're saying, oh, they could forfeit their Week 5 game. Why couldn't they forfeit their Week 4 game? Why'd you move that one? That's frustrating.
Yeah, it's like rather than forfeit the one you had to for sure. Oh well, we got 2 more kids. Yeah, now we'll forfeit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like, and maybe this is just the paranoid person in me, is like, are you just trying to screw the Steelers more? Making them play all their games, making them give up their bye week in the midseason so that they can play against the Titans and the Ravens.
Yep.
Like, what are you doing?
Butler with the hot take here, and I gotta agree with him. We should be 0-4. The onside kick from Atlanta saved our ass.
Yeah,
there is no question about that. However, a team that scores 30 points a week and not winning at least half of them is still bullshit.
Yeah.
So,
quite frankly, the Falcons coach should be fired. I know Bill O'Brien got fired from the Texans.
Right. Which,
that happened Monday because they started out their season 0-4.
Well, it's clearly his fault his team's going to hell when half the team's got COVID. So clearly it's his fault. But
that's the Texans, not the Titans.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm wrong team. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know where Atlanta's hierarchy has the gumption to not fire like everybody after that first game. Like,
yeah,
God.
I would have fired like the general manager, the coaches, the special teams coach. I would have fired everybody. Like, you handed them that game. There was no.
Yeah, that would have been a freaking front office nuclear. Like, through the whole building. Like, bye, everybody gone.
No,
I
that a couple weeks ago, but
it's still mind-boggling to this day. It's only time as of late. Colin says, "I'm happy to be from Cleveland." Was beating the Cowboys. Oh man, just sticking in my gut. Ugh, God. But you know what? It's funny. We're saying the same thing about Cleveland that people are saying about the Padres right now. The Padres are in the NLDS.
Yeah.
Where did they come from this year? The Cleveland's doing the same thing in football. It's very weird. My greatest managerial client, Rick Ellis, is a San Diegan. a San Diego resident. He and I are not speaking right now, so we're not going to talk until the series is over. But it's.
I have a Facebook friend who's a Bengals fan, and we literally say, "Hey, this week, F you."
Right. And you know, honestly, I'm like the lone quasi Dodger fan that won't be royally pissed off if they don't advance, because the Padres have freaking earned it, man. They've been just, oh my god, they're the Cinderella story for sure. So, however, I still don't want the Dodgers. God, they're long overdue anyway, and they've been cheated twice in the last 3 years. So, there's that.
Well, I'm all about a Yankees and Astros rematch in the ALCS.
I only will root for the Astros because I want the Astros to play as many games as possible, get to the World Series, and then have us crush them in 4. Because they are owed a serious ass whooping. They really are. They're jerks. I can't stand them. A bunch of cheaters.
The Yankees are the ones to give it to them. I don't want to relive.
This is true.
Last series.
Yeah. I don't mind the Yankees handing their ass either, because Lord knows I can get behind the pinstripes in the American League, even though I'm an Angels fan. The Yankees are the Yankees, and there's no denying that. But I wouldn't mind Houston getting through here just to whoop that ass at the end. Couple of great comments here. If the you already got it.
I got that one.
If the Browns go to the Super Bowl, 2020 will officially be the weirdest year of all time. Oh, dude, you are not lying, Colin. I saw. Yeah.
I was completely confused by everything that just happened.
Yeah. And honestly, it's funny. A friend of mine, Kenny, who after the passing of Eddie Van Halen, which, by the way, may he rest in peace, Eddie. God bless you, brother. Rock on. And he found a meme that is the end of memes. It's the greatest meme in the history of memes. It listed off everything 2020 had going for it. And then at the very end of it, it was Obi-Wan as us saying, "You were the chosen one," and 2020 Anakin going, "I hate you." Meme contest over for the rest of life.
Yep.
Because that's exactly what 2020's been. It had every positive date thing going for it, and it's just completely turned it up on its ass.
Yep.
It's terrible. Curtis says one of my. What's that?
Read the comment.
Yeah, one of my pals is a Chiefs fan. Yeah. Much love, brother.
I
love
Kansas City is insane right now.
I know it's the entire sports entertainment world is bananas.
Yeah.
Like when WWE is the sense of normalcy, there's a whole lot of wrong with that.
And transitioning into wrestling, because it's football and wrestling recap. Thoughts on Ali with Retribution?
Gee, I wonder if WWE went back and read people's comments from 6 months ago.
I mean,
they think he was the hacker anyway. Let's go with it.
I mean, props to them if they're actually following through with the story.
Right? I mean, honestly, if that was the intention from the get, then props. Major props to Vince and the team, because we all sat there months ago going, this hacker thing is going nowhere, Retribution, and now it's like, oh, wait a minute, things are starting to click. Wait a minute. So,
see, if they bring it up in a promo on Raw that, the whole hacker thing was Ali,
right,
and they tie it into Retribution, I can forgive them for the entire storyline not making sense until now.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, seriously, if they...
I want to say this.
Yes.
And it's something that frustrates me beyond belief about any wrestling fan nowadays.
Of course.
They act like what we're watching on TV is like the last episode of wrestling that's ever going to happen. Like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. I hate it. It's like, it's not the end.
Yeah.
There's more story to be told. This is a continually going soap opera. There is always more story to be told. They want to bring you in for next week to see, hey, where's it going to go? But everybody thinks that every show is the last show that's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
Stop it.
As you guys are well aware, watching on my network, I've been in this thing for 30 years now as a fan. 18 of them doing the podcasts. This isn't the end of the world, okay? The end of the world was in 2001, first of all, for the record. Let's cards on the table. The end of the wrestling world was 19 years ago when WCW and ECW went out of business. However, other than March 26, 2001, you're not watching the last show. You're not. So, it's going to be okay. I promise. Everything will be okay. And like Greg said, if they tie this Ali thing into the hacker thing and they mix it all together and they can use 2 sentences on Friday night and explain everything, and they will have, like Curtis said, swerve the audience. Well played. It takes 2 sentences. Ali was the hacker. Hacker was retribution. Boom.
Now,
done.
Here's my thing. They're doing the draft over 2 nights again. Friday.
Right.
Are they just redrafting everybody, or are they doing it like they did in the mid 2000s, where somebody wins a match from one show and then somebody else gets drafted? I like that format. I think redrafting the rosters every year is kind of stupid.
It is kind of stupid, and I will counter that by saying this: they haven't done an actual stand at the podium, read the commissioner's statement, do the draft pick since 2002. Except for when Stephanie and Shane split the brands.
Yeah, in 2016 they did the podium thing.
And that was 4 years ago, and honestly, both shows are batshit crazy right now, because the world's batshit crazy right now. I mean, let's be honest. So, I say put them back at the podium, but don't, since there's no real definitive leader of each show, I don't know how they would do that. Is my only concern.
Yeah, my thing with last year, I think they tried to mimic the NFL draft a little bit more by having,
which was kind of hokey. Yeah,
it's like, okay, we get it that people are like celebrating, like, hey, they made a good pick, and you want it to come across more like the NFL draft. If you want it to come across like more of the NFL draft, make it a network special.
Right.
Make it its own. Like, don't have matches in between. Just have the draft. Treat it like an actual draft, and go from there.
Right.
They don't need to tie it into Raw or SmackDown necessarily and make it a 2-thing event just to pop the ratings. Just make it a network special. Get more people interested in the network content and be like, hey, this is actually important to what's going on the shows. Check it out this Sunday or Saturday or whenever. Right. I think the draft should be a standalone thing.
I agree with that. And I also agree with Curtis when he says, I actually wish they would hold off on the draft till after Hell in a Cell. Because, yeah, they have a pay-per-view in less than 3 weeks. Or less than 4 weeks. Why would they hold a draft right now when the rosters could be completely shaken up and the outcomes of the matches won't matter to spit?
Yeah, and it's so annoying to me.
Right.
And it drives me insane that they're hot-shotting the Sasha Bailey match.
Ugh.
Just for the purpose of ratings on the draft. It's like, you have in the palm of your hand a storyline that has realistically been 5 years in the making, and you're going to throw it away on an episode of SmackDown.
Yeah, not even a pay-per-view. Free television. You are Bischoffing this.
WrestleMania main event match.
Right. Yeah. Not to shit on Bischoff like everybody else does, but you are literally Bischoffing this match for no reason.
What I would like them to do, I'll get to your comment in a second. What I would like them to do is have Bayley attack Sasha again.
Yep.
And then, like, make it kind of more like an angle instead of an actual match.
Right.
That way, like, Bayley can attack Sasha before the match, be like, oh, I'm ready now, and then hit her with her finisher and call that it, and then maybe Sasha gets drafted to Raw, and Bayley just gloats until Mania.
Like we said a couple weeks ago, separate the two. Just get them apart. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only reason I say Bischoffing is because he used to do that to pop a rating. You know, Goldberg Hogan is the glaring example of that over the last, the Monday Night Wars. Yep. There's no reason to do that anymore. Who are you trying to beat in the ratings? AEW? They're not with you on Fridays. Impact? The NWA? You're paying for their shows, so no. Who are you competing with, McMahon?
Why? I mean, of all the shows, Raw needs the most help.
Seriously, Raw's getting bombarded by Monday Night Football right now because, oh my God, we got football back. So it's,
And but that's nothing new to them. Like
No.
they always know going into September through December, they are always going to be up against Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
It's nothing new.
and thanks to their ridiculous deal they signed 15 years ago, there will be no more dog show interruptions. So they've got the network to themselves to do whatever they want for 3 hours now.
And we've said this on multiple shows. Cut it back to 2.
Well,
3 hours is pay-per-view length. I understand advertising deals. I understand how the whole broadcasting thing works. They want to make more money off their advertising. Fine. But when you're not bringing in the people to watch the advertising while the show's going on, then you're kind of doing yourself a disservice.
Well, the problem, it's not so much filling the ad space, it's how to decide how to cut back the advertising length in space. Because I watched a great interview with Bradshaw about this not too long ago, and John said that people keep clamoring for the show to be cut to 2 hours. Like, who do you cut? Like, which sponsor do you go? Sorry, shit out of luck. It's like you can't. Like, there's no real way to do that without pissing somebody off. And if you piss off the wrong person, they'll take their friends at this company and go, "Well, we'll screw you back," and then they'll both leave. And it'd just be a complete freaking chain reaction. So, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that's why they're not.
I mean, that makes sense. I can understand that from a business standpoint.
Yeah, and we all know Vince is about that bottom line, So it's regardless of how we feel, and trust me, as many of us are sitting here right now watching you and I, or people watching you and I are talking about it. There's a dozen that love the 3 hours, and just can't wait for more on Wednesday and Friday and pay-per-views, and they watch 8, and they are the sheep that follow the leader. And as long as there's enough of those guys for Vince to herd into the barn and cheer for that profit, he's going to keep doing it.
All right. Well, that is our discussion about football and wrestling. I'll be talking about Steelers football and Notre Dame football now that they're actually playing this weekend.
Woo woo!
Next week's show. Both of them still undefeated, so yeah. Notre Dame
Cowboys are not.
Move that to December.
You know what? Honestly, it's really, they're getting to play, and it's from their standpoint, it's like they're getting to play. Period. Whether they have to wait until December to play that game or whatever the case may be, it'll all balance out in the end, and hopefully everybody can get well and play the game when it's time.
I'm going to be so annoyed if certain teams jump the Irish for the college football playoff when they've played 2 or 3 less games as part of the
right.
season.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'll be obnoxious as hell.
All right, moving on to our next topic. And if you guys have questions, send them in now for our Q&A. But we're going to go into what's trending now.
So that'll be good.
Talking about what is trending.
Oh jeez. Oh, by the way, since we're on the No DQ channel real quick, thank you to Aaron for plugging my episode of Talk Wrestling from Monday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talking about my 30 years of fandom. That was really cool of him to do that, because he had to do that. That was pretty cool. So, well, there's breaking news on my messenger message if you want me to read that first.
Sure, go ahead.
Breaking news. Former police officer accused of George Floyd's murder posts $1 million bail and is set to be released.
Where did he get the money from?
Good question.
I wish I could find that money.
Right? Must be nice.
Yeah.
All right, so trending. Let's see.
Dwayne Haskins of the Washington football team's getting benched.
Wow. Oh, yeah, they're going to start Allen instead. Interesting.
Yeah. Goes to show, hey, you can be hot stuff in college. But the
Yep.
NFL is a completely different animal.
Very much so.
I mean, think about how Roethlisberger is one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. Still doesn't get the respect he deserves, I think. But he played for Miami of Ohio, which is not that highly rated of a school. They just saw his talent and they went with
There you go.
it. So the stars in college are not necessarily going to translate to be the stars of the NFL. That's not always the case. Because some of the stars in college, if they're just that gifted, they do become the stars of the NFL. But it seems more often than not, it's not the case.
Right. Trying to get the story up because I can never remember the kid's name, and we just drafted him. So just give me a second here.
Well, speaking of hockey, the Penguins traded Matt Murray to the Senators for John
Saw that.
in the second round pick.
Yeah, I saw that. So that's interesting because Matt Murray didn't have. He still had a while to go on his contract, did he not?
I believe so.
I think he did. Yeah. So yesterday we made a pick. Quentin, I forget to say the kid's name, the last name, Byfield. Help me out there, stat boy, in the chat room. He is the highest picked African American player in NHL draft history. Second overall. And he's a center, and he's 6 foot, whatever the hell he is, 6'1", 6'2". He's like a shade over 210, and he's 18 years old. The future is ours. And then there's a rumor that they're gonna, the Knights are gonna trade Fleury, which is the worst thing they can do right now. My God. I understand they signed the other guy to a contract, and that's great, but I think Marc-Andre is still your guy if you're Vegas.
So apparently, J.J. Watt is trending.
Oh, geez, here we go.
And Bill O'Brien getting fired. And apparently, it was because Watt and O'Brien got into a shouting match with each other.
Oh.
Watt questioning his coaching abilities. I mean, who are you going to listen to? Bill O'Brien hasn't done much with the Texans in how many years, and J.J. Watt's been one of the best defensive players in the NFL. Who are you going to listen to in that case?
Yeah, exactly. Looks like...
JJ, if you ever want to join your brothers in Pittsburgh, we'll
right. Open arms, man. Jennifer Doudna and Emmanuel Charpentier win the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for the development of a method for genome editing. That's trending around the world.
Genome editing.
I wonder what that means. I'm open up and see what it means. They've piqued my curiosity.
I'm guessing Facebook user is Mikey.
It gotta be. Let me see. I would assume so because it's probably in my group, but I don't know.
A lot of the other topics are politics. Trust me. After the election, what's trending now is going to be way better.
Yeah, it really is.
Can you imagine if this crap goes to a recount?
Oh my God. We're talking about this in February. Are you kidding me? So it says the Nobel Prize winners discovered one of gene technology's sharpest tools, the CRISPR/Cas9 genetic scissors. Using these, researchers can change the DNA of animals, plants, and microorganisms with extremely high precision. That's a mouthful.
All right.
Good for them.
Well, that's what's trending now. So let us...
It's good shit, pal.
Yeah. I'm moving the screen with us to here so I can talk about our next topic.
Let's do the thing, brother. Here we go. This is my favorite segment of the week. It's my favorite part of the week. It really is.
And unfortunately, looking at it, it doesn't look like there's any specifically from Battle Creek. So.
Oh, tear.
Or Grand Rapids, for that matter. Saw somebody say they were from Grand Rapids.
Yeah, I saw that earlier too. Now, there's a statewide thing. We can still apply it to Rob, so we'll see what we do.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he lives in Vegas now, so he really doesn't give a shit. But,
Right. So, in Michigan, persons may not be drunk on trains.
Ooh. Not even the Lions fans?
I mean, I'm guessing after they lose, which is pretty commonplace for the Lions.
I was gonna say that's a rough Sunday night, man. I'll be able to get home.
Sorry, Aaron and Caitlin.
No, you're not.
Gr-
Well,
girl
well
Aaron.
okay,
About sports.
yeah, not that Aaron because they don't give a shit about football, or at least Aaron doesn't. But my roommate Aaron is from Detroit, so he'll hate that. But oh well.
Well, I was gonna say, female Aaron talks about the Lions games on Twitter. So
Oh, I'm sure she does. You're right. I forgot about that. That's true. That's true.
um, under state law, dentists are officially classified as mechanics.
There's a Britt Baker joke there somewhere. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Well, Britt's not from Michigan, so.
Well, no, but she's a wrestler and she's a mechanic, so
Well, hey, if she teams with FTR, she'll be teamed with the mechanics. There you go.
I understood that reference.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. Doom, doom, doom.
Well, this law should apply in just more than Michigan. No man may seduce and corrupt an unmarried girl, or else he risks 5 years in prison.
That should be global law. Christ. How many idiots did it take for that to go into written law in the state of Michigan? Like, how many assholes were there that did this? Oh my
Biden's
god.
from Michigan, right? Oh.
Who's that? What'd you say?
I said Biden's not from Michigan, is he?
Okay, okay, Do we
I'm
really
voting
want to get into the battle of the?
Talk
Do
crap,
we?
talk crap. I'm voting third party. I don't give a-
Okay, because the party you were for a while, that dude trumped everything this week with his "I got the COVID," whether he did or didn't.
I'm voting third party.
Yeah, oh my god,
I'm sick of all of it, really.
Oh, I really am too. I'm just over the whole goddamn thing. Gosh darn thing. Sorry, I didn't really.
He can do it. The last
Asshat.
Sunday in June of every year was named Log Cabin Day.
In Michigan.
Why?
Yeah,
Every
but
they go to log cabins the last Sunday in June in Michigan.
I mean, like maybe Illinois. I don't see a lot of log cabins in Michigan, but okay, sure. That's one of those bizarre rules. Weird laws.
A woman is not allowed to cut her own hair without her husband's permission.
Two things. Number one, if you're cutting your own hair, good for you. I mean, that's that's a skill I can't master. Number two, I'd want to get permission from anybody to cut my own hair if I had hair, because that's a scary thought.
Mix here is actually a follower on Twitch.
Oh, hi. Hello, Twitch.
I'll actually be on Twitch playing Super Mario 35 shortly after this show. So go follow me on twitch.tv/GregCherryBrand, because I'll be over there.
Super Mario 35?
Yeah, it's the 35th year anniversary of Super Mario Brothers. And what it is a battle royal game where 35 players are playing Super Mario at the same time, and if you die, you're eliminated.
That's bananas.
Check out my Twitch in like an hour, brother.
If I'm not recording something I gotta record today, sure.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So, like I said, twitch.tv/GregCherryBrand. Go follow me on there, because I'll be gaming a little bit today.
There you go.
And just for, this is not related to anything else, but if you follow me on Twitter, also @GregCherryBrand, you'll see the project I'm doing coming up later this year. I'm watching every single Royal Rumble match, including the ones on Raw and SmackDown.
God bless you, man.
And as a bonus, the one that happened in 2000 in WCW, which a lot of people probably don't even know existed.
Which, to my recollection, featured the very last appearance of Randy Savage in WCW.
That was a battle royal. I'm talking about an actual like Royal Rumble rules match.
Oh.
Like they did like the 30 entrants and coming out every so often, and I didn't even know it existed till like a couple years ago.
I
So
didn't
I
either.
faintly remember it happening.
Hmm.
But actually, the anniversary of that match is in less than 2 weeks.
There you go.
But yeah, I'm planning on releasing a series of videos in relation to how I rank these matches.
Hmm.
And some of them might be higher than they probably deserve.
Right.
I don't know. I just started this yesterday. I've only watched through the 88 Rumble.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to try to watch them in order. May not happen. I may jump around, and I might save all the TV ones to last because they're not very long.
Right.
We'll get there when we get there. Just follow me on Twitter. Follow me on my YouTube channel because that's where they'll be.
Greg Cherry Brand.
Yes.
I think you need to just shut your fat mouth, Curtis. Personally, that's what I think you should do. I think you should be quiet. You should be quiet. And by the way, it's on the viewers' choice list for Halloween Havoc month on Rewind, but just one match.
Yeah.
So you'll see that on the 22nd. So 22nd. Keep that in mind. Anyway,
Back to Michigan laws.
yes.
It is legal for a robber to file a lawsuit if he or she got hurt in your house.
Jesus Christ. I've heard that over a lot of states. Like, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're doing something illegal, but if you get hurt, then you can sue the people you're robbing. What?
Yeah, that hurts my brain to even try to process completely and fully.
Well, I mean, it is Michigan.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, but not everybody's as high as Rob, are they? I mean, come on, let's be real. Yeah, Jesus.
You may not swear in front of women and children in Michigan.
That leaves me out of the state.
Yeah. I was going to say, has anybody watched Wolverine's games in the big house lately?
Ho, 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 ho. Ooh.
And Michigan State, too. Throw them in there. Because
Yeah, seriously, Spartans. Jesus,
Spartans
yeah.
aren't much better if they're better at all.
The Kings are on the clock in the draft.
Well, you'll have to let us know who.
I will. I definitely will.
Okay. Adultery is illegal, obviously, but can only be punished upon a complaint by the affected husband or wife.
Read that one more time. I think I missed the first part.
Okay. Adultery is illegal.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But can only be punished upon a complaint by the affected husband or wife.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah,
Like,
because I guess if you don't say anything about it, like
yeah, like if you're not going to bitch about it, why should we care? Okay, it's
which is really the case for anything.
yeah. If you don't care, you got cheated on. Good on you.
Okay, this one is depressing beyond belief.
Oh God, here we go.
It is illegal to kill a dog using a decompression chamber. That's the look I expected, honestly.
This is trying to keep tears out of my eyes for real. Like, legitimately, I can't. I'm literally crying. Oh my God.
Why is there not a period after it is illegal to kill a dog? End the sentence.
And it says right there, just done, cut off, right there. Jesus.
Why do you need to like? Why?
Dry mouth. Where's my water? Holy balls. Oh my God. I can't even. Oh. Okay. Go next. Quickly. Jesus.
In the Motor City of Detroit,
Here we go. Detroit.
couples are banned from having sex in a vehicle unless the act takes place while the car is parked on the couple's own property.
Also, would be thrown in jail for that. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
On the edge, if you go park somewhere and then parallel park yourself.
Yeah, I can't absolve myself of that responsibility because been there, and if it was in Michigan, I'd be in jail right now. Yeah. Maybe not now because it was a long time ago.
All right. Also in Detroit.
Oh, you're in.
And again, we come back to the you may not swear in front of women and children. Apparently, it is illegal for a man to scowl at his wife on Sunday. Then don't let him watch the Lions play.
Right? Yeah. Keep him
Yeah.
away. Yeah, keep him away from Tigers games and Lions games and probably in Pistons games, honestly. So, yeah.
And Wolverines games and Spartans games.
Yeah.
Well, I guess those are on Saturday, so that's okay.
Right. So, but you know he may still be scaling the next day, so he has to be careful.
Yeah. So if it's a night game in Michigan, you know, you have about 20 minutes till midnight to scowl, and then as soon as midnight hits, you gotta chill out.
Yeah, put the smile on your face and get glad. Scratch your ass and get glad and get over it.
Also in Detroit,
Also in Detroit.
security guards at Joe Louis Arena will confiscate any item they feel might be thrown onto the ice.
That's bullshit.
Don't they throw octopi on the ice in Detroit?
They did when the Joe was open. Yeah, absolutely.
So apparently they don't care that much.
No. God bless the Joe. That's the one of the few arenas I did not get to go see that I regret not seeing before they imploded it. So much history in that building, just in wrestling alone, and of course the Wings. You know,
Here in the Jim Lewis Arena, Joe Louis.
Joe Louis.
Jim Lewis. Who's Joe Louis? Woo.
Joe Louis. Yes.
I miss him.
I do too.
Survivor Series 91 for anybody wondering.
Well, I was actually referring to Survivor Series 99, where Austin got a freaking run down that car. Also in the Joe.
Also in Detroit,
Yes.
it is illegal to let your pig run free in Detroit unless it has a ring in its nose.
There's a very inappropriate reference to a certain gender. I'm just going to let fly and just let it go.
We're not going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole. So
No.
This seems like a terrible decision. In Port Huron, Michigan,
Oh, okay.
the speed limit for ambulances is 20 miles per hour.
That seems kind of counterproductive.
Yeah, it seems like it defeats the purpose of the ambulance.
Yeah, it's like, why have the sirens in the thing if you can't go more than 20?
Yeah. I mean, the sirens are supposed to be hazed so I can save people's lives, but you can only go 20 miles an hour. It kind of... You better be only like half a mile away from the hospital then in Port Huron.
Yeah. I mean, put it this way. When I got my concussion back in March and had to be rushed to UCLA from LAX, keep in mind you, they couldn't get a regular meat wagon, for lack of a better term. So they got one of the paramedic ones, like the ambulance size, but the red painted ones. That fucker turned the sirens on. We booked it from LAX to Westwood, man. We were flying. It's like, I can't imagine dealing with that big a headache and that much trauma going on at 20 miles an hour. I probably would have passed out from the shock of it all. Honest to God, I would have. If it had been for the speed of the ambulance and RVD on text with me, I probably wouldn't have got through that night. So.
Well, there's a reason to become a police officer in Rochester, Michigan.
Oh, this ought to be really good.
All bathing suits must have been inspected by the head of police.
Yep, I'm all about that.
Well, just moving to Rochester. So.
That's it. All right, Aaron and Caitlin, prepare a bed. I'll be there in about 10
hours.
Yeah, maybe. If I drive. Well, if I drive, I won't get very far.
Yeah. In Sioux, Michigan, Sioux, S-O-O. I'm guessing that's how it is.
As opposed to Sui.
Yeah. Smoking while in bed is illegal.
I would hope so. Fuck. Sorry for the F-bomb here in my bed. If you are so addicted that you have to smoke in bed, you need to go get help. I'm sorry.
Well,
you
mean,
do.
That might be a post thing.
Well, okay, granted, that's fine, but I think you can at least make the trek a few inches away from your bed before you actually light the cigarette up, because that's just dangerous on so many levels.
Yep. Not that that's. No, never mind.
It's weird law, so there you go.
I want to save that one for last because it makes no damn sense.
Oh, okay.
In Wayland, Michigan,
Oh.
anyone can keep their cow on Main Street downtown at a cost of 3 cents per day.
Can keep their cow downtown
Yeah,
at a cost of 3 cents per day.
correct.
And the reason you want to keep your cow downtown would be.
I mean, we don't have a room for them uptown, so maybe it's cheaper residents.
Oh, so. Okay. Oh, okay.
If you want to get your cow an apartment downtown, 3 cents a day.
There you go. I think the Kings just traded their pick. Oh, they did. Damn it. They traded their pick to the Rangers. I mean, whatever. We're like deep into round 2. It's not a huge thing. We got Liz Anderson with 2 S's.
Anderson.
Right? I'm going to look this guy up. They have my attention. Anderson.
JV3, my guy from Combat Wrestling Trivia, the guy who runs it, says he lives in Grand Rapids.
Right.
Unfortunately, there are no Grand Rapids laws listed here,
Well, phooey.
but
Okay,
ones
so-
that are statewide apply. Now, why? In Clawson, Michigan, maybe this is why you want to have your cows live downtown for 3 cents a day.
Excuse me.
There is a
I'm sorry.
law that makes it legal for a farmer to sleep with his pigs, cows, horses, goats, and chickens.
So that's why the cow's downtown. When you're alone and you want to go with your cow, you can always go
I mean,
downtown.
I love bacon and burgers and chicken like the next person, but I don't love them that much.
Yeah, I don't love him long time or anything. I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
So apparently this Anderson kid's a 5-year pro. He's playing, where the hell's he playing? He's playing over in Sweden right now on loan from the Rangers. And he's played a handful of games in the big time, if you will. But he's coming to LA.
All right, two more of these laws, and then we'll get to the Q&A. So
Right on.
send your questions in now, and we'll cover them.
That's right. Get him up. I will read the comments off.
And it doesn't matter what it's about. It's
Nope.
It
Oh,
could be wrestling, it could be football, it could be really whatever you want to talk about. It could be gaming. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/GregCherrybrand. I'll be over there in about half an hour or so. Probably because that's how long it'll take to set up.
right.
In Kalamazoo, Michigan, it is against the law to serenade your girlfriend.
Do you realize there's a song about getting a girl that has Kalamazoo in the song? Carlton Banks sang it on Fresh Prince.
Well, it's a good thing he was portrayed in California then.
That's just that's almost as depressing as the dog one. Well, no, it's not almost.
Hey, if it's okay in Bel Air, California, then it's not a big deal.
I suppose so.
And finally, I don't understand how many times this happened, how many people got scammed for this to be a thing.
Oh my God.
In Harper Woods, Michigan,
I'm already scared just on the name alone.
it is illegal to paint sparrows to sell them as parakeets.
You know, when I sat here through the California one a couple weeks ago, I was ashamed of my state. Y'all in Michigan gotta be shaking your heads in shame right now. Like, that's ridiculous.
How many people?
How many people are actually...
People bought what they thought were parakeets, but were painted sparrows instead.
And question B: why are you painting birds? Like why? Why?
Now, if these are like not statues, but if they're like baked birds, okay,
Right.
maybe I see your point a little bit.
And I can even get with taxidermied birds. I can even get with that.
Yeah, but
But live birds.
if you're painting live birds and trying to scam people into being like, oh yeah, they're parakeets, for people who have no idea what birds, like what different things are. Why?
And like you said, how many people did this happen to before the state had to step in and go, okay, wait a minute.
Curtis said, you've done Indiana, right? Yeah, I did Indiana a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. And no, Curtis, I'm not tired. Well, I am tired. That's just a general statement for me. No, I'm just dumbfounded at these laws.
But that is Weird Law Wednesday, Michigan edition.
And I think the question we've got so far will definitely take us a couple minutes to get through.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and throw it up there. Do you guys think or feel humans are getting more deadly / evil?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And you know, it's a lot of it's a very uncomfortable conversation to have.
Yeah.
Because it seems more and more people are out for themselves.
Yep.
And some people would be uncomfortable to actually tell people, hey, if you don't believe in anything, then you're more susceptible to do whatever you want because you feel like there are no consequences to your decisions. And when you live in a consequenceless mindset, you're going to do whatever you want and not give a damn about what anybody else thinks. And that's a very scary mindset to have. I'm making sure my microphone works. If my microphone is still giving me issues, I'm going to wear my freaking headset from now on.
I honestly have not had a trouble hearing you since we got the situation resolved at the start of the show.
Okay.
So,
well, I mean, there's that at least. But yeah, people are just.
we have seen this year what consequence-free mindsets can do to people.
Yeah.
This year has been the worst example of it, by and large. It starts at the top of any of our governments, not just here, because ours is batshit enough, but it took a lot of countries around the world to get their freaking act together with this virus. And it's because the people at the top are going, it's not a big deal. Yeah, it is a big deal. It's bad. It's bad, okay? But people are dying. 200,000 people in this country alone. Because people don't care. Because people go out in public and don't wear their masks here. It's like, dude, the whole point is so you don't breathe on them. You breathe through your nose, you idiot. So, yeah.
And it's becoming a problem, too, when people will, and I brought this up last week, people will defend their side so much to the point where even when it doesn't make sense, they'll still defend it because it's all they know.
Right.
And
Yeah.
people are not open to hearing other opinions. They are tunnel focused, or they have tunnel vision on what they believe, and if anything comes in from the outside, it's like, it's like that.
Okay, so we have that clip for the open for the show from now on. That was just fantastic, by the way. That was awesome. I've noticed it a lot in politics this year, of course, because politics is batshit worse than ever. But in wrestling, like I said this months ago, and I stand by it. The worst thing to happen to wrestling in 2020 is wrestling fans in 2020.
Yeah.
They're never satisfied. They're always going to have a bitch. There's never going to be anything that unites everybody because everybody has to have their own little, tick about something. Rather than just sit back and enjoy wrestling, we have to moan and groan about it. And it's a crying shame.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, because I saw this comment on somebody's Twitter, and I really should unfollow the person because I'm really sick of all the BS that I see on that channel.
Very good.
I'm not going to name the person because I'm not giving them promotion on here.
Okay.
But they were against the Buddy Murphy and Aaliyah storyline
Okay.
due to the age difference.
Right.
And it's understandable to a point, but they throw out pedophilia.
No.
And
Nope.
well, oh, it gets worse.
Okay.
They throw that out, and they're like, "Oh, well, she's 19. That's pedophilic behavior." And here was the kicker: they said that if anybody supported the storyline, they were also a pedophile.
Okay. So when we go off the air, you're going to tell me who said that, and I will have a field day because I'm in that kind of fuck it all mindset today. Sorry for the F-bomb, Aaron.
Don't tag me in it because I don't want any part of it.
I didn't say I was going to do it on text. I'm going to verbally chew them out to find a way. Anyway,
expect the battle.
I don't give a shit. I'm in the mood today. I really don't care. She's 19. She's consenting to be in the storyline. And if anybody likes the storyline, that's their prerogative. If anybody dislikes the storyline, that's their prerogative too. But for you, whoever you are, you bonehead you, to claim that anybody who likes this, in your opinion, pedophilic behavior when it's not, is also a pedophile, you can feel free to go yourself very, very, very fast, very hard with a sharp object. Thank you very much. Okay. Daniel on the Weird Laws says, I can't wait for my birth state of Iowa. My maternal side of my family is from Iowa, so I can't wait for that one either.
Maybe we'll do Iowa next week.
There you go. My family farm was there for many, many years before we sold it off. So I'm all about that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how toxic their thought process is, because, and this goes for a lot of things, and this topic could be its own damn episode.
Not just Twitter, but everywhere. Yeah,
not just Twitter. I mean,
yep.
Twitter's a freaking cesspool. But
yep, it's the worst.
When you think so positively about something that you're not willing to open yourself up to other ideas, you realize you're part of the problem, right?
Yep. Exactly.
If you cannot work together with your fellow person, even if they disagree, you're part of the problem. Because having this "it's my way" or "F you" mindset is cancerous.
Yep.
The fact that our politicians on both sides of the aisle have this mindset is cancerous. Louder for the people in the back. If our politicians have the mindset that it's my way or F you, that is cancerous.
Cancerous. And with that, we will answer one more comment and say, Curtis, Kentucky does itself.
We'll hit all the states over due time.
I know. I just like picking on Kentucky because it's fun.
Trust me. If you guys want me to go on another rant next week, send me some topics on Twitter. I will rant about them because clearly it strikes a nerve with everybody. And you have to be willing. If you want to hear these topics, you have to be willing to hear things that you don't want to hear.
And see, I missed this live. So this is awesome for me to hear it live this week too. This is cool.
Yeah, you have to be willing to hear things that you don't want to hear. Because when you hear things you don't want to hear, maybe it sparks something in your mind that, oh, wait a minute, maybe I've been thinking about something wrong. Or maybe I've just been too caught up in everybody has pride. Everybody has so much pride in themselves that if anything comes against their mindset, they feel like it's evil. that's not the way it is. If you think that anything against you is evil, you think that you are the measuring stick of morality, which is, you basically have a god complex, if that's your opinion. Knock it off. You are no better than anybody else on this planet. I am no better than anyone else on this planet. Jeff is not better than anyone else on this planet.
There goes my belief system.
Exactly. You have to be willing to open yourself up to other people's ideologies to understand how they think, because newsflash, we don't all think the same way. Our brains are not wired the same way. I know that a lot of people want this sweeping declaration for all of us to think the same way so that we are basically all robots. But hey, we don't think that way. And yes, it's not just the other side of the aisle that's the problem. It's your own side. Oh, what? How dare I? How dare I say that there may be fault with somebody? Oh no, you mean I might not be perfect? Ah!
I do love domestic butlers trying to get us back onto the wrestling side of things. People make me laugh. They want the Attitude Era back, but they would moan and groan about the Attitude. If they were to come back, people would know about the Attitude. I think he kind of went all over the place there, but the whole discussion with Mysterio's daughter and Murphy wouldn't be a discussion 20 years ago.
Oh, no.
She's a 19-year-old, attractive young lady in the business involved with a wrestler. That's Attitude Era in a nutshell. There you go. And Domestic Butler, I appreciate you that so much for putting in that $3.99 pounds, or is it a euro? I can't. It's a euro. I don't know if it's a pound or a euro, but love your channel, Greg, but your mic is low. Again, guys, it's a work in progress. He sounds fine to me. He sounded fine to me since we had the problem earlier. So I don't know if it's you guys' volume levels, if it's my volume levels. I don't know. So.
And also, appreciate this, Colin.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm not going to be on the next episode. The Good Brothers are going to be on the next episode. I'm not.
Nice.
Yeah, Anderson and Gallows are going to be on the next Quizzlemania, so I'm more than likely, I'm about 99.99999% chance that I'm not going to.
I wish I still had Carl's number. I'd call him and have him invite you on.
I mean, you could always get him to be like, hey, tell them that you want Greg Cherry on Quizzlemania, and be like, hey, maybe they'll listen to you.
Like I said, if I had his direct number still, I would, because I was buddies with him when he was working for Marquez back in the day, but that was during his Joey Ryan days, and Joey Ryan is not a popular person right now, so yeah.
No.
Yeah. So.
It's such a shocker to me that somebody whose gimmick was grabbing his crotch, or people grabbing his crotch, turned out to be a terrible person.
It's so funny, because no matter how many times he ridiculed me, or how many times he talked down to me, or how many times he treated me like the shit he turned out to be, I defended him because he was my predecessor in the business, and that's how you do things. So I was a good little line toter, and look how far that got me with being in the business. It's like I measured myself so long on how far I was. Like, I don't give a shit. I did what I did, and I was happy with what I did, and I'm happy doing this with this microphone that I really don't even need. See, it's not. You can still hear me because it's useless. See how that works? Because it's a piece of shit. But I'm happy doing this. I'm happy being here with my best friends, Greg, Aaron, everybody doing our podcast every week. I'm happy today that at some point today, during the course of this day, I'm going to watch two things I've never seen before. Because at some point today, we're going to do Rewind, where we're going to watch the Cactus Jack, Big Van Vader, Halloween Havoc match from '93, which is, according to legend, a train wreck. So it should be fun. And then at some point, somebody is going to, or I may say that by my damn self, I don't know yet, I'm going to watch the entire first episode of the first ever televised wrestling I ever watched. From October 6, 1990, WWF Superstars Wrestling. That's going to be this week exclusively on the Jeff Meacham Network. I don't know if it's going to be audio or video. We'll see how things play out, but I enjoy being part of this. And if being a part of the business means I'm part of something that is people like, Joey and people like, everybody else that was, thrown under the bus this summer, I'm glad to be out. I'm good.
Well, we've definitely gone over time, but
And it happens.
yeah, it does happen. We didn't go too far over, but
Nah.
hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to hear me do more rants on stuff, then by all means, check me out. I will be involved with more Combat Wrestling trivia, as I see JB3 commenting.
Yes.
Sorry for Quizzlemania. There's no episode this week. It's next week. So
Yep.
keep that up. I haven't been pushing that as hard lately. I'm more focused on doing my Rumble. I don't want to call it a watch-along because it's not really a watch-along. It's just me watching all 46 Rumble matches. And 47 if you include the one from WCW.
Right.
But there's like 8 or 9 of those that are televised. So they're not as long as the actual Rumble matches, but they're Royal Rumble rules matches. So there's very much technicality involved, but yeah.
Well, like I said, if you've enjoyed today's show, I'm Jeff Meacham. He's Greg Cherry. If you haven't enjoyed the show, he's Vince Russo. I'm Big Vito. There you go. So move right along.
Yep. So go follow me on Twitch if you're not there already. Twitch.tv.
Please get there. Get there. Jeez.
Yeah. Because I'm going to be doing some Super Mario 35 over there in a little.
Do.
So go check that out. And for Jeff Meacham, of course, you know me. You love me. I'm Drew Slater. And we will see you next time. As always, on the green.